You know, it is the responsibility of the federal government, if there's a national calamity, whether it's caused by accident or caused by malfeasance, to take action. It's not the job of the federal government to redistribute wealth, to harass its citizens, to turn one citizen against another, to undermine a state. It's the job of the federal government to protect this society without destroying the individual. This president has it ass backwards, and he always has. He has lots of fun dictating to the American people how they will live, where they will live, how much they can earn, what kind of light bulbs they can have in their house, what goes on in their toilet, all the rest of it. He has failed completely to secure the southern border intentionally. We have unemployment at nearly 10%, and they won't do anything about it. They won't liberate the private sector. Now we have an ecological problem. Could be a disaster. Perhaps it could have been contained early on. The president didn't even talk about it for a week. And then on day 8, when they see it's out of control, suddenly he rushes to the microphone with a few of the shirts behind him, a few of the suits, telling us, I'm using all resources of the federal government. But it's British Petroleum's job. They have to act first. We're just supporting them. Then you're not acting like a leader. You're not doing what needs to be done, which is to stem the flow of oil before it reaches the shoreline. And if you've done everything you can and it still does, then so be it. But when you're a week late, when you're sending SWAT teams from the Interior Department and lawyers from the Justice Department and cabinet secretaries with baseball caps to debate each other, when you're getting ready for civil and criminal litigation rather than addressing the disaster, you're doing it ass backwards. This man is way over his head. This is the first real challenge he's had. There was never going to be a second Great Depression. He didn't save this nation from Butkus. And here we have the first challenge. And he's a screw-up. All week, up at Wall Street, trashing Wall Street, trashing Arizona, trashing the American citizen who's trying to protect himself and herself from really an invasion of illegal aliens. And that's what it is. Nationalizing the healthcare system. Months and months, lying and lying. He doesn't care what he destroys. He doesn't care about the misery he will for certain create. He doesn't care about the financial situation in this nation for your children and grandchildren. He'll be long gone. Screw it. But there it is. There it is, a rig. Some kind of an explosion. And the White House, to show that he's Johnny on the spot. All hands on deck. Look, we just issued phone logs. He called the governors. Wow, what a leader. Very Lincoln-esque. Called the governors. We have everything at our disposal. But, you know, BP is in charge of this. They're in charge. They're first. Now, we hate oil companies. You know that. We'll do everything we can. The Coast Guard got there. But we're doing everything we can. We're sending our newly minted Interior Department SWAT team in their ecologically proper SWAT uniforms. And, of course, we're sending our lawyers from the environmental section of the Justice Department, along with the head of the Civil Division who used to represent the enemy in Guantanamo Bay. He knows all kinds of stuff about oil leaks, I guess. And the assistant to me in charge of energy and climate change policy. I'm sending him, or is it her, or who cares? We're sending that person down there. And, of course, just today I dispatched the EPA administrator to keep an eye on those CAFE standards and the Homeland Security Secretary, who's done such a damn good job on security on the border, and that moron, that Salazar from the Interior Department, we're sending him too, with his cowboy hat. See that, ladies and gentlemen? We're very busy. We're working very hard. Now, I notice this president puts a lot of admirals and generals around him. I don't know where he gets these losers. If I were an admiral or general, you couldn't appoint me to work in this administration in the White House. We have a Rear Admiral Bryce O'Hara. He's at a press conference with Secretary Napolitano. Secretary Napolitano's been very busy with press conferences. Who's a she? No, Bryce O'Hara may be, but who's the assistant for energy and climate change policy? I said he or she. Yeah, we don't know. Depends on the light. Depends. Anyway, Rear Admiral Bryce O'Hara. She's a she. At the White House press, let's listen to that. By the way, there's a big gap. That's when they're both looking at each other, cross-eyed, trying to figure out what to say. It's not us, it's them. So here's another press conference to prove that the administration's right out there trying to stop the oil as they were from day 8. Cut 3, go.
Is there a point, though, where the federal government shifts from oversight of BP to saying, we're taking control and we'll send you the bill, and are we at that point?
We are certainly not at that point now, and I don't imagine, given the professionalism of our partner BP and maybe partner was, let me back up.
They are not our partner.
In terms of bad choice of words.
They're not our partner, they're our enemy. They're our enemy. They're not our partner. So here we are today, or yesterday. Day 8, a press conference with Rear Admiral Bryce O'Hara and Napolitano. And the reporter asks a logical question. Well, at what point are you going to take this thing over? Well, the professionalism of our partner, and they start looking, uh-oh. Well, they're not our partner. Bad choice of words. The point is, the federal government under this administration still has not taken control of this situation. Because they don't know what to do. They're not prepared. They're sending lawyers. They're sending prosecutors. They're sending observers. They're sending climate change advisors. They're sending EPA types. They don't know what to do. So they're going to keep having press conferences and send more and more bureaucrats. They're just going to keep running in circles down there in New Orleans. Hey, look at this. Hey, look at this. The fact is, they don't know what to do. And this president doesn't know how to lead. Now let's step back a second. This is a potential ecological disaster. Okay. Look, they happen. You can't stop them all. It's the way it is. It's unfortunate. It's very unfortunate. It could be an accident. Who knows what it was? But destroying the healthcare system is not an accident. Cap and trade, where you would basically have the government setting some kind of a Soviet-style industrial policy, that's not an accident. Stealing money from people who earn it and giving it to people who don't, that's not an accident. And yet it's destructive. It's destructive of this society. It's destructive of liberty and private property rights. It's destructive of the Constitution and the Declaration of Independence. So the president does many, many, many destructive things, which will have a massive impact on an awful lot of people. So they've nationalized this healthcare system, right? Now, you're watching the leadership of our federal government in action. They're pathetic. They're a joke. So why is it that so many Americans, not a majority, but enough, want to confer more and more authority on these people to run more and more aspects of our lives? We don't confer all this authority on the oil companies. We don't confer all this authority on the insurance companies, on the tobacco companies, on the coal mines, on this company, on that company. We have a diverse society with all kinds of industries, people out there doing all kinds of things. We don't want to put all our eggs in one basket because nobody can possibly know, or no small organization can possibly know, how to run this society.